The most fascinating, and infuriating, part of this week's QB rankings is how quickly perception can flip for big names, while rookies like Shedeur Sanders get judged off the smallest sample size. And this is the part most people miss. When you zoom out and look tier by tier, the story of Week 13 isn't just about stats, it's about expectations, context, and how much leash each quarterback really gets. NFL QB rankings, Week 13, Josh Allen drops to Tier 2, so where does Shedeur Sanders fit in? Tier 1. Rank 1, Los Angeles Rams, Year 17. 2025 stats. 11 games 66.5% completions 2,830 passing yards 7.6 yards per attempt 30 passing TDs 2 INTs -9 rushing yards 0 rushing TDs 5 fumbles. Think of a perfectly thrown touchdown from this Rams veteran the same way you think of iconic art, its timing, precision, and creativity all blending together. His connection with Davante Adams has become appointment viewing, with throws that feel like they're being dropped straight down a chimney from 20-plus yards out. Week after week, he keeps carving up defenses, and at this point he's not just playing well, he's setting the standard for quarterback play in 2025 and sits squarely at the front of the MVP conversation. Rank 2, New England Patriots, Year 2. 2025 stats. 12 games 71% completions 3,130 passing yards 8.8 yards per attempt 21 passing TDs 6 INTs 307 rushing yards 2 rushing TDs 6 fumbles. A rough afternoon in Cincinnati did little to change the bigger picture for this young Patriots quarterback. The offense sputtered, but the blame doesn't rest squarely on his shoulders, and that's important context that many box score watchers overlook. While his completion rate has cooled off a bit compared to earlier in the season, he's still operating the offense at a high level, making smart decisions and generally looking like a long-term cornerstone under center. Rank 3, Dallas Cowboys, Year 10. 2025 stats. 11 games 69.3% completions 2,941 passing yards 7.4 yards per attempt 23 passing TDs 7 INTs 126 rushing yards 2 rushing TDs 4 fumbles. After a short slump, Dak Prescott has forced his way back into the elite tier, and he did it in emphatic fashion. Over his last 2 outings, he's posted a 6-to-1 touchdown-to-interception ratio, which is exactly what you want from a veteran who's supposed to steady the ship. Most notably, he dragged Dallas out of a 21-0 hole against the Eagles like a battle-tested leader, injecting life into a frustrated fan base and keeping the Cowboys' playoff hopes alive. Don't be so quick to turn on your quarterback, Cowboys fans, he keeps reminding everyone why he's still the face of the franchise. Tier 2. Rank 4, Buffalo Bills, Year 8. 2025 stats. 11 games 69.7% completions 2,709 passing yards 8.3 yards per attempt 18 passing TDs 9 INTs 371 rushing yards 10 rushing TDs 5 fumbles. Josh Allen just got a front-row lesson in what happens when you run into a top-flight defense on the road with the crowd at full volume in prime time. He battled through constant pressure but was hamstrung by a depleted receiving core, with key targets like Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman unavailable. Because of stretches of inconsistency, he slides out of Tier 1 for now, but if his track record is any indication, he's just as likely to erupt for a multi-touchdown explosion in his next big matchup and reignite the MVP chatter. Rank 5, Kansas City Chiefs, Year 9. 2025 stats. 11 games 64.4% completions 2,977 passing yards 7.3 yards per attempt 18 passing TDs 7 INTs 318 rushing yards 4 rushing TDs 3 fumbles. Patrick Mahomes didn't deliver a flawless masterpiece against the Colts, but he did what the great ones do, leaned on timely throws when his team needed them most. After falling behind 20-9, he strung together enough big-time plays to pull the Chiefs back from the brink and quiet the weekly doom and gloom talk, at least for now. It wasn't vintage Mahomes from start to finish, but it was another reminder that as long as he's under center, Kansas City is never out of a game. Rank 6, Los Angeles Chargers, Year 6. 2025 stats. 11 games 66.5% completions 2,691 passing yards 7.2 yards per attempt 19 passing TDs 9 INTs 345 rushing yards 1 rushing TD 2 fumbles. This Chargers quarterback continues to mix high-level throws with the occasional backbreaking mistake, which is why he lands here in Tier 2 instead of knocking on the elite door. The arm talent and mobility are obvious, but the turnover count is hard to ignore in tight games. If he can iron out those lapses and lean into cleaner decision-making, his ceiling remains as high as almost anyone's in the league. Rank 7, Indianapolis Colts Year 7. 2025 stats. 11 games 69.1% completions 2,840 passing yards 8.1 yards per attempt 17 passing TDs 7 INTs 159 rushing yards 5 rushing TDs 8 fumbles. In Indianapolis, the starting quarterback quietly keeps stacking efficient performances. The accuracy numbers and yards per attempt both point to an offense that's pushing the ball effectively without constantly living on the edge. The biggest red flag right now is ball security, especially with the fumbles, but the overall play still justifies a comfortable Tier 2 landing spot. Rank 8, Seattle Seahawks Year 8. 2025 stats. 11 games 69.5% completions 2,785 passing yards 9.3 yards per attempt 19 passing TDs 10 INTs 49 rushing yards 0 rushing TDs 5 fumbles. Sam Darnold's latest performance against Tennessee was the definition of boom or bust. On the plus side, he uncorked 2 eye-catching touchdown strikes to Jackson Smith-Njigba, showcasing the aggressive downfield passing that has always made him intriguing. Outside of those splash plays, though, the outing was fairly ordinary, which is exactly why he feels at home in this second tier rather than higher. Rank 9, Philadelphia Eagles Year 6. 2025 stats. 11 games 67.2% completions 2,284 passing yards 7.4 yards per attempt 17 passing TDs 1 INT 298 rushing yards 8 rushing TDs 5 fumbles. Jalen Hurts might be the most week-to-week volatile quarterback in these rankings, and the reaction from Eagles fans reflects that swing more than almost anyone else's. Early in the matchup with Dallas, he ripped some excellent passes to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, but as the game dragged on, the offense shifted him into more of a conservative, take-what's-there mode. Questionable second-half play-calling didn't help, and neither did a non-threatening run game, which left Hurts as the team's leading rusher with just 33 yards. It raises a fair question: are the Eagles putting too much on his shoulders while simultaneously holding him back schematically? Tier 3. Rank 10, Detroit Lions Year 10. 2025 stats. 11 games 69.3% completions 2,769 passing yards 7.9 yards per attempt 23 passing TDs 5 INTs 22 rushing yards 0 rushing TDs 3 fumbles. Jared Goff came through with some timely throws to help Detroit narrowly avoid a disastrous upset against the Giants. Even so, his role in this particular game felt more complementary than central, as the offense leaned heavily on Jahmyr Gibbs to carry the load. That contrast is striking compared with his recent demolition of Washington's defense, a game that already feels like it happened ages ago. Rank 11, Tampa Bay Buccaneers Year 8. 2025 stats. 11 games 62.7% completions 2,406 passing yards 6.7 yards per attempt 18 passing TDs 5 INTs 216 rushing yards 1 rushing TD 7 fumbles. Baker Mayfield's 2025 campaign is starting to resemble his 2021 season in Cleveland, the one that ended with the Browns moving on and shipping him to Carolina. The déjà vu only intensified when he suffered another injury to his left, non-throwing shoulder, the same shoulder that needed surgery a few years back. While the injury isn't as severe this time, his blazing early season form is fading from memory, and despite his trademark effort and competitiveness, the production just isn't matching the intent right now. Rank 12, Green Bay Packers Year 6. 2025 stats. 11 games 67.7% completions 2,560 passing yards 7.7 yards per attempt 15 passing TDs 3 INTs 160 rushing yards 0 rushing TDs 5 fumbles. Green Bay's starter continues to play within structure, taking care of the ball and spreading it around in a way that keeps the offense on schedule.